All right, so I thought for whatever reason, in case anyone might be interested, this would be an idea that I would share where I just show how I store Hockey Bones cards these days. I used to do it a little differently. I had different card holders, and they're even actually a fair bit more expensive. I can get like 7 of these for the price of the card holders that I used to use, that I used for the Fictional 6 competition. It was 6 people, a handful of other people, and myself. It was Alan, Brian, Ken, Larry, Ole, and myself. And I was, again, I was using like these thicker, more heavy-duty, durable pockets. But then during the summer, the ink, maybe it was because of the summer, maybe it wasn't, but the ink was coming off and the plastic on the inside of the cards. Might have had as much to do, actually, with the, I don't know if it would, anyway, doesn't matter. So 67, going back here a little ways, and I got these stickers as well, so I can start organizing by year. So these are my 67 cards. They are actually, these are in old cut up trading card pockets, actual trading card pockets. The 68 ones are not, and they aren't very well organized, but they are all there from some 67 plays. So that's you know, my Hockey Bones 67 cards and team logos from that 67 season as well, which secretly I used some of those for 68 as well. I didn't feel like making new logo cards. I do have the 69 NHL team logos cards made, though, for upcoming 69 play with Hockey Bones. Anyway, so that's the 67 season. 68, I started doing it a little differently. I have, because again, I'm not sure actually that these size pockets would fit into these envelopes, but again, because these are Korean business card holders, they're a little smaller. They might look like trading card pockets, but they're not. They are slightly smaller, about 90% the size of sports trading card pockets. And so that's what I do. I have them, you know, organized by line and defense pair. In the middle here, this blank card is actually, I guess I could show this as well when I put Boston away, but it's this, so backup netminder. 67, the third string netminder for the Red Wings was Wayne Rutledge, and this is going to be Roger Crozier, the backup right there. So that's, and again, that allows me to easily, when I'm playing, I can separate forward unit from defense quite easily if I do it like that, and then I just put the goalie off to the side. So for 69, because actually these, when you get them, when I get them and they're just $1 each, and they come into, they come in, you know, package like this, and the sheets themselves, the card holders themselves, are in sheets that are adhered to in the center there, and so I basically just rip that out, and then I take scissors and or I actually used a line cutter for 68. I think that's what kind of ruined the original line cutter. So I used scissors this time for the 69 season that I'm about to store. And so I have these, although I might have to take a few more. I might have to take some from another pocket of sheets or whatever. But so yeah, these are what I put the cards in. And again, I mean, for a 6-team league, it's pretty easy for me. I think if you were using a more modern season, if I were using more modern season, I'd have to do it by division. But the idea that I have is actually just to find like a shelf in a bookcase, and I can have them next to one another like this. And then so 67 season, 68 season. So the 69 now is underway. I have the cards here in the meantime in this tray with some other cards for other games. So I'll start with Boston because they are the champions. And of course, alphabetically, Boston, you know, B being the earliest letter in the alphabet for a team. And I have all the stickers. Actually, this afternoon, I went through and cut out. It took an embarrassingly long amount of time. The sticker paper that I used this time that I had to buy and take to the print shop wasn't quite as nice, didn't work quite as well. But I don't know, I think overall I think I did okay anyway, even though I had to do a little extra work in order to get it done. So anyway, Boston is where I will start. And put away the Bruins here. So just kind of to show the setup, even though I kind of already did with Detroit. And kind of assemble Boston's lineup in the process. Of course, this is subject to change. But so these are the 3 netminders. Cheevers I'll have off to the side. And I guess I'll start with the defense. So again, these are the backup goaltenders, the second and third goalie for the team. So I'm going to have these. And actually, too, within these pockets, so the cards themselves, if you put them in there properly, they're not touching. They are separate pockets there, if you can see that in the middle. And so I'm going to have Cheevers, Favel, and Tony Esposito, acquired by Boston in the draft. A little wet behind the ears, probably will not see much time, if any, during the season. But yeah, it looks like this. And again, Cheevers being the starter, I'll have him stored elsewhere. Probably what I'll do is I'll cut out the logo card. That's what I did with the 68 ones. I had the logo card and the goalie in an extra pocket together. And let me find the defense. Oh, Boston signed Cashman. They let go of, can't remember who now, a veteran, and they're Dilbow, actually. Again, I want to have all the top, as many, good guys as possible. I just want the whole league to be stacked. So again, if it were real, certain guys would make the team in camp, certain other guys wouldn't. So I'm assuming that even after the draft, they invite a few undrafted guys to camp, and maybe those guys make the team out of camp, out of training camp, instead of the traditional players. And even though I'm not doing salary caps or anything like that, one can assume that maybe contracts are terminated or bought out or something like that. Not working with the cap or anything like that. So I went right past Dory. Dory's one of their defense. They've got Ori and Dory. They should be a pair for that reason alone. Then you have Ted Green there, Bob Bonnet, Van Imp. And why have I not seen Bobby Orr? There he is. So it should be 7 defensemen for the team. Oh, Doug Jarrett would be another one. So top 4, obviously number 4, Bobby Orr. Probably have Van Imp as well. And then, I don't know, after that, it's a bit of a, because you've got Ori, Ted Green, and then maybe the number 5 is Jim Dory. Yeah, that's probably how I'll do it, actually. Or maybe Ori is the number 5 where he's been before. I don't know, it depends. Do you want to clear, or do you want to, clear and intimidate, or, and Dory's got the higher penalty minutes as well. Maybe Dory as well, he's a bit younger. But then you also have Bob Bond. Now, Bob Bond being the veteran. But I think, maybe you go Bond and Ted Green, actually. Hard to say, see decisions, or maybe you go Orion. So Boston already is the problem of too many ace defensemen, or just, very good defensemen. So I guess what I will do right now with them. Now, Bond was Orr's defensive line mate in 68, but he is a year older here. And so therefore, maybe it'll be somebody else alongside him. So we'll put Van Imp here for now. Orr and Van Imp. A couple of 4-4s there each. And so yeah, that's what it looks like. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe Ori and Dory for the time being, just because it's fun to say. And Dory actually has to play on the left side, so that it would slot down Ori on the right side. Although I just can't see Ted Green being scratched, so maybe you go with Ori and Green. You have Dory and Bond duke it out. Mind you that during the season, injuries will come up. So, and then of course after a team loses, probably I'll look to make changes to the lineup. The season itself, I just do a double round robin, so these teams have to figure it out and get chemistry in a hurry. So once you've seen the defense pairs, and again, this is just the backup in third netminder in between, and I just go with 4 defense mainly, and then I do 4 defense, 9 forwards, and then I have 3 cards in behind, 2 forwards and 1 defense that I sort of figure into some special teams assignment, of course, injury replacement if that comes up. Anyway, let's get the 7, 8, 9 into pockets. So that'd be Hodge, Esposito, goodness, 126 points. I think it really gets overlooked because of Gretzky's exploits like a decade later, getting 200-plus points in a season. That Esposito, nobody had ever achieved 100 points in a season before. A few guys had gotten close. Paquita got really close one season. A couple others as well. I think Dickie Moore had 95 one year. But Esposito, like nobody had 100 before and 126. So there could be a lot of scoring going into this. But with that being said, they taking nothing away from them, they amassed some of the seasons that they did. Ken Hodge won the scoring title in 68 for me. 45 goals and 90 points this season, so his card's even better this season. But Esposito, again, 49 goals and 126 points. Again, it's amazing that somebody got 126 when nobody had 100 before. And yeah, while the scoring could be really high for this season, I might want to hold on to Sanderson for a defensive role. Then I've also got Charlie Burns. We'll say Sanderson line 2 for now, because you can still match him up against line 1 and the other team and try to neutralize them. Westfall I'll probably keep for the third line, though. And then we have John McKenzie. And even though Dennis Hall's numbers came up, I think that if I could draw inferences, I thought even talking about this in some silly video that, where is he now that I want to speak of him? I can't find him. Ted Hampson is who I'm looking for, if you've seen him. So inferences that I would draw from 68 play are that Glenn Hall, even though he's like 38, was still plenty good enough to play in the stronger East Division. There's Ted Hampson, because of course he won out the starting job over Ed Jackman for New York, and almost got New York to a final. He got a shutout in Game 4 and forced to Game 5 in a best-of-5 series against these, you know, Boston Bruins, who would go on to win the championship, the Stanley Cup, via a sweep against Toronto in the final. But another inference that I think you could draw from this is that I don't think it ever happened in the respective careers, at least not in the National Hockey League. But Ted Hampson and Derek Sanderson were the very definition of chemistry. To a lesser extent, Hickey as well. That's right, I got to do the line. See, as my narrative is going, yeah, you know what? Screw it, I'm going to do it now. So McKenzie's going to come out. Again, this is in my alternate universe. Ken Hodge maybe will slot in on line 2, just like he did in the final. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I got to keep this line together. Although originally it was Bill Hickey, so I should look to his card too. Yeah, because Hickey can play either wing. But then that would put McKenzie on line 3. So Boston's biggest problem, never mind their opposition, Boston's biggest problem here is just an abundance of riches. And Hampson plays center, so that's going to figure into it as well. Now, I could play him another forward position with a deduction. I could overlook it. But maybe, yeah, the veteran Charlie Burns then will have to step back and be like the number 10 forward. So I'm making a mess of it now. This sort of stuff does go into, maybe not this to this extent, but this sort of stuff will factor into every game that I play with this pregame considerations, you know, what line up to ice. So maybe my first instinct was correct. Let's go Sanderson and McKenzie. Then maybe you go to Bill Hickey. Cashman's not ready yet, but Boston signed him anyway. Again, maybe I overlooked the Hampson thing because I really want him to play with Derek Sanderson, just given the history and how it's been. Now, Jim Johnson, there's a pretty good card as well. So, yeah, Boston, everybody's good. Junkie Gendron, again, he'll probably be 10th or 11th, but he's along for the ride. Of course, you have Dennis Hall, kind of a liability defensively, and therefore I would consider him on that reason alone, actually. Yeah, for that. So, again, what do you do? What do you do? Yeah, so probably, I don't know, because if you take away, we'll say Dennis Hall for the time being. Nah, Hickey. We'll go Sanderson, Hickey. See if he and, yeah, me. So Sanderson, Hickey, and McKenzie. And then for the third line, McGregor can be center or right side. Burns, of course, and Burns has got it for the face-off, but then the aforementioned Ted Hampson, I can't see him not being in the top 9, especially with 75 points. So probably what you do is you have Burns in this +3 passing bonus. Maybe Dennis Hall doesn't get into this lineup then. And maybe I have too many on the left side. Maybe McGregor is a 10 or 11 then. And between Gendron and Johnson, maybe they duke it out there. And at least Johnson, even though defensively not as sound, he can kill penalties, so maybe they alternate. So, again, this is a very temporary setup, of course. But, so here for the third forward line, we'll have these three. We'll go Johnson, Hampson, and Westfall for the time being. Maybe look to make some changes there. But and then in behind, probably what I have to do at this point is, because again, I've got a few defensemen who are not going to dress, or a couple of defensemen who are not going to dress, and forwards as well. And so the 6 that I don't dress, they're either in behind the third line or they are in behind the players who are stood up in behind the rink. Jarrett's going to be the number 7 defenseman for this championship Boston Bruins team. And probably up front, a couple of the odd guys out. And again, it's not that they're not good hockey players, they are, but yeah, Cashman and Gendron. And again, barring injury, I mean, I could dress 12 and 6, but it would kind of slow me down, I think, the way that I like to play it. I don't do Dave's random line changes. I could try it, but knowing me, I would want to take over and coach and make executive decisions even more often, which I know Dave does at times as well. So there you have it. You have Gendron, Doug Jarrett, and Wayne Cashman. We'll have him in behind here. And then, yeah, so I guess what I need to do then is I need to figure out, so again, Cheever's off to the side here. See, Burns is the face-off as well. I'd almost like to have him in there for the emergency face-off alone and the puck +3 pass bonus. I can't overlook that. But how do you keep a Bruce McGregor out of the lineup? What a problem of luxury here that these Bruins have. And again, Bond the oldest and Dory the youngest, maybe for those reasons. So what I would do then here is, let's see, maybe Hall on the left side, Dennis Hall, and Charlie Burns over here on the right side. And maybe Bond, the reliable 5th guy. Right, the 5th veteran. We'll cut his ice time back. Again, if this were real, maybe you do that with the older Bond. So then I've got a few more guys that I have to scratch in behind. And so for that, what I'll do is I'll have Dory, McGregor, poor guy, had a hard time fitting in Chicago, and now he could find himself just kind of being the odd one out. Again, that's a very good card for him. So the Bruins, what this means here is that they are, in addition to all other things good about them, they are very well equipped to absorb any loss due to injury. When you have a guy like McGregor who can come in and play center, play on the wing, and fill those roles nicely, kill penalties, 3 defense. And so when I'm not playing, the starter goes here with, you know, adjacent to the scratches. And then the team logo card as well that displays on the rink, I put that in the same pocket as the starter. So now you know. And so the 24-man roster, that's what I do. I have 4 pockets like that for it. And and then these 4 pockets will go into an envelope like this. And then the envelopes are held in this plastic with the elastic, like so. This is a new one, so the elastic's a little tougher. Those are sliding out easily because, again, I have to put all the other team cards in there so that they sit in there a little more snug. And then I'll get the 69 sticker and put it here for the 69 season. Anyway, so that's a look. I guess not such a quick one since this video is almost 19 minutes long. I may or may not upload this, but that's a look. I'm not going to store the team twice now. A lot of deliberation there, which really lengthened this video. So, all right. Congratulations once again to the 1968 Stanley Cup champion, Boston Bruins. Bye for now.